the trucker with ya. Love that song. Shaky Town, Jackson Brown. Hey, so you want to be an over-the-road trucker, do you? Well, do you now? Why? Why do you want to be an over-the-road trucker? For the adventure? Is it for the money? Is it the unknown? You want to see the country? Those are all good reasons. And as you know, I've said it 100 times, I was an over-the-road trucker for over 20 years. You know, 1989 to almost 2009. I drove coast to coast, 48 states, up and down, sideways. Been in every state, every city, every highway. Pretty much. Then you can take a truck on, and some that you shouldn't have a truck on. You know, 1980 is the first time I went over the road. I was 10 years old. My dad in his GMC Astro cab over. Went to Chicago. I was hooked. Man, I was hooked. And I loved it. I mean, it's great if you're single. And I'd recommend it to single people, but there is a price. The price with everything. No social life. No real social life. It's hard to keep a relationship going. You know, it's hard to say to your girlfriend, hey, honey, I'll see you in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You know? What girl's going to want to put up with that? It takes a special woman to stand behind a trucker. And there are a lot of good women out there that can do it. You know, but, you know, you got to really have trust. Trust is the main thing. If you don't have trust, you're screwed. Because when you drive over the road, you got a lot of time to think. And that can be a bad thing. That overthinking situations, and it can eat away at your mind. So if you want to drive over the road, my best suggestion would be to become friends with an over-the-road trucker and go take a ride with a guy or the woman. Go out on the road for a couple weeks, see what it's really like. See what it's really like before you make that commitment. And go to a reputable driving school, I guess. I didn't go to driving school. My dad taught me how to drive, pretty much. But go to a reputable driving school. They're going to promise you the moon. They're going to get you a job. You can't count on that. Then go get a job with a reputable trucking company if you're going to drive over the road, like Schneider and JB Hunt and Werner. I mean, personally, I would never work for any of those companies. But if you got to get a start, probably the way to do it, I guess. But they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear. You know, they're going to promise you the moon. They really only care about having a warm body in the seat that has a CDL. So take it for what it's worth. Get the experience. You know, a lot of people have good experiences with that, and they stay with those companies, and they have a good career. Some people have awful experiences. They get trainers who think that God's gift to truck drivers. Meanwhile, they only been driving a month or two. And personally, I think it's kind of dangerous going out with a trainer. And I trained some drivers in the 90s for a little while. I'm an awful passenger. It wasn't my thing. But you know, you got to have a good work ethic. You got to get used to working long hours, 14-hour days. And when I drove trucks, I mean, you know, my first over-the-road job, I ran 5,600 miles a week. That's right, 5,600 miles, 6.5 days. I didn't know any better. I was 18. I wasn't even supposed to leave the state when I was running coast to coast. Fast as I could go, man. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. Nowadays, there are the laws prevent you from doing that. There's some still outlaw truckers out there. They got all my respect, man, because it's all about you can play the game the best. But nowadays, that game will cost you your job, I guess, and the license. So now you also got to get used to eating pretty bad food, and I mean, it's all up to you what you eat, but the truck stops food sucks. I mean, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna get a lot of exercise unless you make the time. You're not gonna get a lot of home time. Your friends are gonna be going out having fun on a Friday night. You're gonna, I gotta be in Chicago in 2 days. I gotta go. Sorry. You're driving bad weather. might have to chain up your truck and get over a mountain pass. Bad drivers. You got shippers and receivers at these warehouses that treat you like garbage and they won't give you the respect. And you got time where you gotta sit on your ass at a truck stop because you're either out of hours or you don't have a load, and you got to make the best time of it. I mean, I guess one of my biggest regrets is, you know, the few times I had some downtime, I didn't take advantage of it, didn't go see the sights. I was either sitting in my truck, sitting in the truck stop, going to a trucker bar, maybe a gentleman's bar, you know. Spent a lot of money doing that stuff. Got some good stories for another day. So take advantage of your time out on the road if you can. You know, if you got a layover, go take a taxi cab and go see the Grand Canyon or where Elvis was born or whatever. You know, and it's a tough life. I don't know how guys with kids do it. I was 10 when my dad started driving over the road. And I know I still live vicariously through my over-the-road trucker friends. Something I think about every day. It was a big part of me, still is a big part of me. Love Facebook. Facebook's a good place to talk about running the road. Some good groups on Facebook that'll give you some good advice. You know, but talk to truckers, talk to drivers. You know, only believe half of what they tell you. You know, I got off the road when I started having kids, and it took me about 3 years to really get over being not on the road anymore. And it's the best thing I ever did. I'm glad I got off the road. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I really am glad. I mean, I still romanticize about the fun times, and I probably forget about all the hard miles and the long hours I put in and the miles I don't remember. I mean, just driving. You know, but I say local driving. You can get a good local job that pays you on the clock. You're home every day. That's the best way to go. Or a regional job. You know, but if you're single and you're just burning at you got to try it, so go try it. You got nothing to lose. You know, get it out of your system now while you're single. I can't imagine I'll ever go back on the road. Maybe when my kids graduate, maybe once in a while, or when I retire. Get myself a big old large car and get back out there and take a trip once in a while. But yeah, so that's about all I got to say about it. You know, just think before you do, man. Think about it. Don't jump into it. It's not something you can jump into. A lot of people jump into it and it's something they regret. So, anyways, you got the Boston Trucker. Short on words as usual. Boston Trucker out.